YouTube, it's me Shirria, and this is the Shirria Mac channel where I discuss everything getting out of debt. I document my getting out of debt journey. I am in debt of over six figures, $335,000 to be exact, is where I started this year, and it is very depressing. But I am here on YouTube to share that journey, to document that journey, that very overwhelming journey with you guys. And today I'm here to talk all about my student loans. My student loans are also six figures. $139,000 is where I started this year. If you're interested in seeing exactly how much student loans I have, I talk about how I actually got into the student loan debt. Not a whole lot. I mean, it's student loan debt. You got into it by taking out student loans. And my plan for paying it off. Please continue to watch. Thank you so very much. Okay, so here I have my layout to document my student loans. If you've watched my debt confession, you do know that I have no current plan to pay off my student loans. I am a social worker and I do work for the government. So I am on the public service loan forgiveness plan, where supposedly our loans will be forgiven after 120 payments, which is 10 years of payments on time every month. And so I've currently been at my job since September 2014, and so 2024, which is 4 more years, will make 10 years. The problem, so to speak, with that is only some of my loans will be forgiven in 2024, because I later consolidated some other loans that came over from the Department of Education for my undergrad, and those were consolidated in maybe 2016 or 2017, and so those were put on the 10-year plan at that date. So some loans will be paid off in 2024. A portion of them will be paid off in 2026, 2027, 2028, and I will list all of that on this sheet. I'm gonna get right into it. So you see I have the Fed loan, student loans. The balance as of today is $140, $427 and 30 cents. The principal balance, that should be AL. It was $125, $465.26, and I have $14,000, almost $15,000, $14,962.04 in interest. So the first loan, I have loans 1 through 11. I'm gonna start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so loan number 1 was one of the loans that was consolidated. So there is no balance because it is paid in full. And let me see if I can see when that loan was paid in full. This loan was distributed in 2010. So this is one of my grad school loans, and it's paid in full. It doesn't say when it was paid in full, but the original balance was $8,500. But, okay, on to loan 2. Loan 2, I believe loan 1 and loan 2 have been consolidated into loan 2. Loan 2 was also distributed 8/17/2010. So it's a grad school loan as well. So loan 2's balance is $16,038.67. The principal balance is $11,125.00. I should have put a column for the payment. The payment for this loan is $16.90. I hate that I did not do that. But I'm going to put payment. This is so sloppy. But anyway, it's $16.90. I'm also on the income-based repayment plan. But this one is supposed to be paid off 9/27/2024. And so far, I have 36 payments that qualify, and I have 84 remaining payments. Loan number 3 is also paid in full. And then loan number 4 has a balance of $11,914.77. Now, I'm all messed up today. 77. The original balance was $8,790. The payment for this loan is $12.56. And this one will also be paid in 9/27/2024. I have been doing research to see like people whose loans actually were not forgiven. I've seen like a portion of the loan where it's forgiven, or someone, I don't know if he's a subscriber or not, but he commented that only 10% of his wife's loans were forgiven. And then my mom, who watches the news faithfully, she saw a news clip where people were saying their loans were not forgiven. But I wonder if people are under the expectation that their loans will be forgiven because they've been there 10 years, but they don't take into consideration that they consolidated some loans after they were at their employer, like you'll see with some of my loans. So as you see, loans 5 and 6 were paid in full because they were consolidated, and I bet they were consolidated into loan 7 because it says the original loan balance is $17,000, and I know no one gave me that much money. And then it also says the disbursement date was 6/5/2014. It'll also be paid off in 2024, but I bet you this was one of the loans that was consolidated. So the loan balance at this point is $17,938.86. Ooh, $18,249.71. And the original balance is $17,938.86. And that payment is $19.24. And that also will be paid 10/27/24. Y'all, I am not together today. Today is the day my brother was murdered back in 2006. And although it's been 14 years today, I guess you just never really stop reliving the day or parts of the day. And so I apologize if I'm all over the place, but I'm all over the place. Okay, so this one came from the Department of Education, but for whatever reason, it's not consolidated. It's not consolidated. But it was dispersed in so it was dispersed in 2016, which means Fed Loan paid the loan off to the Department of Education so that I could pay Fed Loan and qualify for the public service loan forgiveness, because with the Department of Education, I didn't. And my student loan payments were so much more. So the original balance of this, the original balance and the principal balance are the same, but I do have accrued interest, which for whatever reason is not hitting the loan, not attached to the loan. 3610, and it's the same here. 933610. The payment for this is $9.84, and it's due to be paid off 9/27/2026. So this is one, like I explained, that was purchased in 2026. It says right now I only have 12 qualifying payments, and I have 108 payments to qualify. But again, I have not updated. I'm not sent in my eligibility since then. So the next one, student loan number 9, also to be paid off in 2026. Also purchased from the Department of, for refi. I guess is it considered refinance? From the Department of Education. 884542. I probably should have did this with a pen, but I don't have a good writing pen. The payment for this is $9.33, and this is to be paid in forgiven. Maybe I should be saying forgiven in 2026. Now, these last two are the killers. Oh, okay. So, loan 10. Whew. It was also, so I assume I don't even know how much undergrad debt I have. I think it was like $40-some thousand, because I started out at a state school. And I'll go into further detail about how I ended up with all these loans. Well, it's obvious. I went to school. But I started out at a state school. And then I got pregnant with my baby girl. And I came back home because I got really sick. I had really bad morning sickness. And I had to get fluid every day because I would be severely dehydrated. And that lasted all about 6 to 7 months. And so at like month 4, when I had lost so much weight, the doctor took me out of school and out of work. And of course, if I'm not working and I'm not in school, I don't have any income, so I came home. So she was born in 2004. From 2004 to 2006, I kind of just BS'd around. I worked here and worked there, little jobs here and there. I lived with my mom off and on. And then in 2006, after my brother was murdered, I decided I need to get my shit together, because that was the reality. My brother's death, he was 21, or he would have been 21 when he got killed, so he was 20. But that was the reality, that life is short to me. A lot of people had died before, but none in their 20s. So when my brother was murdered, it was like the reality that life is short, and I could go any day. And I was already pregnant with my 3rd child. And I didn't want to have to leave my mom with 3 kids and like nothing. So I really got my ish together, and I went back to school. And I ended up going to the school that was closest, because I had 3 kids and I also had to work. So I went to a school here in the city that I live now, and it was a private school. It was a private Christian school, and the tuition was ridiculous, but I went anyway. And I wish I would have known better or did a better research, but I have a habit, even now in my late 30s, of making a hasty decision, I guess, so to speak, because when I decided to go back to school, I just decided, like, it was just, that was it. I was going back to school, and I was going back to the school closest to me. I didn't consider, like, going to, like, another state school and traveling. Like, none of that ever occurred to me. It was just like, oh, I'm going back to school, and I'm going to this school that's, 20 minutes from my house. Very well gone to East Carolina, which would have been, like, 40 minutes from my house, or, State, which is like an hour from where my mom used to live, or even like Central University, HBCU, which would have been a little further, but at night it would have been doable. I digress. So that's why my undergrad degree is so expensive, because I went to a private school because I made a hasty decision. So I said all that to say that this loan, which is the kicker, well, not one of them, is $27,000. I know some people's undergraduate degrees that are like undergraduate and grad school debt is this amount. $172.51. And it's the same here, because like I said, for whatever reason, the interest is not accruing. $172.51. This payment is $28.65, and it will be paid 10/16/2027. It will be forgiven. And then loan 11, and this one says I have 0 qualifying payments because I have not, again, sent in my certification or qualification or whatever that I work in a public service field since probably 2015. And I keep saying I'm gonna do it because I have to recertify my loans, or not recertify, but I have to do an updated income-based plan every year in September. And I say I'm gonna go ahead and send my verification, but by the time I go through all those questions and sending all that stuff and then waiting to see if it was accepted or not, I'll be like over it. So this last one, the original and the principal are the same. $33,908.08, and it's the same here, 908.08, and the payment for this one is $35.75, and this one will be forgiven, if all goes well, in 10/16/2027. Not my last video. If you watch my Get Out of Debt Plan video, you know that my plan to get out of debt, $335,000 worth of debt, was to pay off my credit card. I only have, well, now I have 2. That's a different video. But to pay off my credit cards and stop using them this year, other than to travel hack, which that's another video. But to pay off my credit cards and stop using them, to apply an additional $10,000 worth of mortgage principal payments this year, and in hopes to have my home paid off in 5 years or less. Because in 4 years, in 2024, September 2024, that will be 10 years. As you can see, in September 2024, 1 3 of my loans will be eligible for forgiveness. Or in 2024, actually my house may not be paid off in 2024 because that is 4 years, not 5. But by the time I have been at my job for 10 years, a portion of my loans will be eligible for forgiveness. In 2024, 46,000, if everything goes as expected, 203,015 cents will be eligible for forgiveness and possibly forgiven. So, I say that to say, I want to pay my house off within the 5 years. At the the 5-year mark that we pay the house off will have me over the 10-year mark with my employer. Even if all of my loans are not forgiven or only a portion of my loans are forgiven, my loan payment at this moment is $132. That fluctuates year from year because it's based on my income. As my income rises, so does my payment. Last year, though, my payment was $0. This year, my payment is $132. 1 year, it was $189. So, I mean, I don't know what the calculation is, but I am honest with filling out the paperwork, and sometimes it's 0 and sometimes it's not. So, even if it continues to go up, I don't think it's ever going to go up enough that it exceeds or even equates to my mortgage payment, which is typically $849. So even if my student loan payment continues to increase, I don't think it'll ever be at $849. Number one. Number two, if the $46,000 worth of loans is not forgiven, I don't see how I wouldn't qualify, but I'm sure something may happen. Two, my student loan, my mortgage payment that is no longer will make, plus all the additional money I'm throwing towards my mortgage, would make a significant difference in my student loans than paying off my student loans and just adding $132 to my mortgage principal payment. The third reason I'm paying my mortgage before my student loans is because even if I pay off the smaller loans, like the $9,000 loan, it's not going to make a difference in my payment. So say I set my payments up on the income-based plan every September. Unless the balance is 0 in September, it's still going to be factored into my monthly payment until the next September. So even if I started paying, so I have to redo my income-based payment plan in September. Even if I was able, I would have to be able to have had one of these smaller loans paid off, like the $8,000 loan, by September. That is actually doable. But I'd rather put $8,000 on my mortgage principal. I don't know. That plan just seems to make more sense. If you have another plan, if you can think of another plan that makes sense, then please share. I mean, I'm open to anything. But the thing with it is, like, these student loans are high balances. If they were like $2,000, $3,000, $710, something like that, I probably would consider paying them off. But they're really high, and it just makes more sense to me to get rid of this mortgage payment and put that into my snowball to start paying off these loans if they're not forgiven. The other thing is they're eligible for forgiveness. And I know a lot of people don't believe in it, but I do. So I don't, I'm one of those people where I just don't believe crap stinks until I've stepped in it and I smell my shoe. I don't know another way to put it. That is just how I am. So I'm going to have to get that letter in writing from Fed Loan to say your loans do not qualify for loan forgiveness before I start to think or even consider another plan. Now, if I hit the lottery today, I definitely would go ahead and get that small $132 payment out of my hair. No, I probably wouldn't. At the moment, my student loans are more than my mortgage. My mortgage is down to $111,000. It just makes more sense. Snowball. Well, I guess I would apply the snowball to each loan, not to the loans as a whole. I don't know. It doesn't matter because I'm not doing it. I'm paying off my mortgage and then I check back with these loans in 2024. That's just what it's going to be. That's just what it's going to be. I am going to send my verification for my employment in this year sometime, probably when I redo my payment plan and go ahead and get that credit. But for now, this is the plan. Pay the credit cards, pay the mortgage, focus on the mortgage for the next 4 to 5 years, and then fall back into my... Comment down below how you would do it. I mean, I'm open to hear it. And I'll take it into consideration if it's like a doable plan, if it's something I think is doable. But right now, this is just what makes the most sense to me. Because right now I'm paying anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 on my mortgage. And if I had the mortgage out the way, plus an additional $2,000, that's almost $3,000 I could be throwing at my loans once my mortgage is paid off. So, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe for whatever... announcement. I have reached my watch hours. Yay! I actually met all my watch hours, the $4,000 watch hours on yesterday. So I just need a couple of hundred more subscribers so that maybe this could turn into a profitable side hustle for me. I'm not in no rush by no means. I am just here to document my journey and continue to hold myself accountable. By this time last year, by the time daylight savings hit last year, I had quit. I don't know why, but I did. And I'm feeling like it's coming up on it because it's hot. It's supposed to be hot this week. It's supposed to be in the 70s all this week. And you know, I have talked about it over and over again. When it gets hot outside, I don't know how to act. So let's hope I stay consistent. If you don't see any more videos past April, be like, girl, where you go? Get back on your journey. Fix it. And I will proceed. But I plan on being on my journey. I feel like I'm making great progress with my mortgage. I am trying to find different incentives to keep me motivated, like coloring charts. And I am marking off lines of my amortization chart. And I think that's helping to keep me motivated. So, and I will be sharing those videos of me coloring off some debt and a debt update real soon. I'm waiting for my new mortgage balance to hit after the 15th. So, thank you so much for watching. Again, please comment down below what you would do in my situation. Please like. It really helps. Give it a thumbs up. It really helps the algorithm of YouTube and to promote my videos out to more viewers. Subscribe if you have not already. And if you have, thank you so very much. And catch you in the next one. Bye.